New listings are rising in most areas, giving homebuyers more choices. This is the March real estate market update for the greater Atlanta area. When you look past the headlines, this month's data shows something more useful. Atlanta is moving into an active spring market where both supply and demand are rising at the same time. This matters for homeowners whose current home no longer fits their life. This is the kind of market that creates opportunity, but it also rewards strategy. Let's walk through what the numbers are telling us, starting with sold listings. Sold activity increased across every market in this report, which is a strong sign that home buyers are engaging rather than sitting on the sidelines. We saw especially meaningful jumps in Buckhead and Sandy Springs, and that tells us demand is showing up as more homes become available. For home sellers, that's encouraging. There are home buyers in the market right now, and they are willing to move when the right home comes along. For home buyers, it means you're not imagining the competition. Even with more options, desirable homes are still attracting a lot of attention. So next, let's look at new listings. Inventory increased in most of these areas, including Brookhaven, Buckhead, Dunwoody, Decatur, and Chamblee. That's typical of a spring market. More homeowners tend to list this time of year, and that gives the market more energy. Sandy Springs was the one exception with a slight pullback in new listings, which is worth watching because it can tighten competition if homebuyer activity stays strong there. For home buyers, rising inventory is helpful because it creates more choices and a little more breathing room. For home sellers, though, it also means you are no longer competing in a vacuum. Your home has to stand out in presentation, in pricing, and in how it is positioned from day one. When you start thinking seriously about your next home, the questions usually go far beyond price. Timing, sequencing, lifestyle goals, and how everything fits together often matter just as much. This is where my team at Sage+Grace Realty Group and I help most in a consultation. We take the time to understand your story, where you've been, what you've built in your career and your life, and where you're headed next. We look at the financial, logistical, and emotional considerations together so you can see your options clearly and decide what makes the most sense for you. If that kind of clarity would be helpful, my consultation link is below. So now let's talk about days on market. Homes sold faster in every area this month, and some of the biggest improvements were in Dunwoody, Decatur, and Chamblee. That tells us the market is absorbing inventory well when a home is priced correctly and presented thoughtfully. One of the clearest signs that we are in an active market, not because everything is flying off the shelf, but because well-positioned homes are getting traction more quickly. For home sellers, this is a reminder that preparation still matters. The homes that feel move-in ready, well-maintained, and properly priced are the ones creating momentum, the ones going under contract. For home buyers, faster market times mean being prepared matters too, especially if you're trying to buy while also coordinating the sale of your current home. Finally, let's look at average sold price. This is where the story gets a little more nuanced. Buckhead posted a significant increase in average sold price, and Decatur also moved higher, but Brookhaven, Dunwoody, Sandy Springs, and Chamblee all showed some price softening month over month. That does not automatically signal a weak market. It signals a more price-sensitive market. In other words, buyers are active, but they are also paying attention. They're responding to value, they're responding to condition, and they're responding to homes that feel aligned with today's expectations. What does that mean? They want a home that feels like they're getting a really good value because it's either in better condition, bigger, or has more amenities, something to make it stand out from the competition. So when we step back and look at the big picture, the Atlanta market is active, competitive, and healthier than a lot of maybe headlines might suggest. Demand is there, inventory is building in many areas, homes are moving faster, but pricing is not forgiving. For home sellers, this means the opportunity is real, especially if you've been considering a move to gain more space, a better layout, a larger kitchen, more storage, or a quieter street. But success right now is less about simply listing your home and more about launching with a smart strategy. Give me a call. We'll figure out the best strategy for you and your family and your goals, taking into account your priorities of time, price, and convenience. For home buyers, this market offers more options than the tighter inventory environment of months past, but not necessarily less competition. The best opportunities still require preparation, such as pre-approvals, and having a clear plan to act quickly when the right home comes along. So having that clarity and quick decision making when the right home appears. And I can help you be ready for that. So for families navigating both sides of the move at the same time, selling one home and buying another home, this is exactly where thoughtful planning matters most. One of my specialties, timing, price, negotiation, strategy, and understanding the neighborhood level trends all become incredibly important. If you like this kind of market perspective, not just the numbers, but what they actually mean for your home buying and selling experience, make sure you're subscribed to my market newsletter. That's where I share ongoing insights to help you make confident decisions with more clarity and less stress. The most important thing to remember is this: real estate is never just about charts and averages. It's about real lives, real families, and making thoughtful decisions when your home no longer fits your life. And in a market like this one, the homeowners who do best are usually the ones who approach their next move with a plan, not pressure. When your home no longer fits your life, or when someone you know is starting to think about what comes next, you deserve guidance that considers both the numbers and the human side of the experience. Helping home sellers and home buyers move forward with confidence is what my team at Sage+Grace Realty Group, part of the agency Atlanta, and I do every day. When you want to begin a conversation, let's book a chat. I'm easy to find. I'm Judy Jernigan, team lead of Sage+Grace Realty Group and a founding partner of the agency in Atlanta. I'll see you in the next video.